Court. And we're going to start music. Here we go.
Everybody riot, organized chaos, nobody quiet. We gon' try a seance. Communication and communion with the world's greatest icon. Station as a human, yet he's listening to my song. Hype joint, this that no nigga with the bass and the bang, make it do. Yo, hit you with the 5 elements, like 5 elephants. Let him know I'm relevant, I'm heaven sent, telling him we're from a whole nother galaxy. I'm actually born from the static sea. Ass to be crazy, I'm trying to be amazing. Next big thing kinda has a nice ring. Bada boom, bada bing. You love it when I go off when it's all out and it's so awesome. I get it cause I am from where the stars from. I'm Martian, the boogie down's the motherland. Cool arcs the overlord and we are just...
All right, everybody, we are here. Welcome to the round table on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. I almost fucked that up because I'm sleepy as shit. I know I did. But anyways, we have a very, very special guest for you guys today. We were supposed to have a couple, but this guy was the only one who can make it, so I appreciate him being here 100%. He's got a porch light right now that looks like he's about to shoot some motherfuckers and the beer to match with it. And even the rum and coke in his hand that he watched this man pour right before the show started. Apparently, rum keeps him out of trouble. But ladies and gentlemen, we got a very special guest, like I said, for you today. We got Rock Allen here on the show. Rock, how you doing, man? Everything good? What you been up to? What's the Rock cooking?
Playing a lot of Call of Duty. You know, this pandemic thing. Been out of work for a minute. You know, just doing side jobs with friends. Can't get on stage because everything's closed the fuck down. So just doing Zoom shows when I can. And that's about it, man.
All right. So how good have you gotten at Call of Duty? Let's tell me that first.
I'm a decent player. I'm pretty decent.
Okay.
That's not bad for an old man. Because, I mean, when I first started playing video games, I started playing Pong, if that tells you anything.
The fuck is Pong?
Pong, P-O-N-G. That was the first
Pong.
video game ever. Yeah.
Oh, that.
It's Pong,
oh,
man.
Shit.
Pong, Pong, P-O-N-G. Pong.
Okay, yeah, he said Pong. I think of the actual Pong that you shoot the balls out of.
No.
Yeah. I was thinking like the real life game.
No, there's a we got a local pizza joint to our area that I took my kids in there one day during the middle of the day and taught them how to play beer pong, so I wouldn't have to worry about them getting fucked up by some dudes when they went off to college.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good strategy, man. That way they're prepared for any bullshit. Did they actually get good at Pong?
Oh yeah.
Shit. All right. That's great for one thing, but you said you're an old man. How old are you? Because I didn't think you were like past your 30s.
Yeah, past my 30s. Yeah, I'm 45.
Oh, you're 45? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
My youngest is 19.
That's funny. I mean, you look great. I honestly had no idea, first of all, but how long have you been doing comedy for, man? And what made you decide to do it?
I'm coming up on 4 years in October. I've just always been a fan of stand-up. I've always watched, any and every HBO special and Showtime special before Comedy Central even came out.
Mm-hmm.
And we just noticed, like, at barbecues and parties, I'd be kind of holding court saying the craziest shit to groups of friends that I would on stage. And we had a friend of ours who owns a bar, and she let me open up for some bands. So, like, the first time I did stand-up, I did 42 minutes my first time.
Your first time you did 42 minutes?
Yeah. I didn't say it was a good 42 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But, it was a good solid crowd of 60. So I had a good time. They had a good time. I got a little following out of it.
No, because I tell everybody this. The first time I did stand-up was 10 minutes. They were like, what? 10 minutes? No way. That's so long. Holy shit. So you just went put the show host ass to shame.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say, even if it wasn't a good 42 minutes, I had nowhere near 42 minutes. I didn't even have 10. I had to stretch that shit. Fuck, man. That's
and my wife
crazy.
had to yell for me to get off the stage.
Wait, so you had to you opened for them and it was 42 minutes?
Yeah.
Damn, how long did they take to get set up?
They were set up before I went on.
You just took 40 minutes on your own?
I was supposed to do, I think, like 30, 35. I just kept going. And then at some point, my wife got hold of a mic, at the back of the room and yelled, "Get the fuck off the stage."
Wait, so when you did your first set, did anybody tell you, that they might like wave like a phone up at when you have like a few minutes left? There was none of that?
No.
Oh, no wonder why you had no idea then. You're not checking the time when you're on stage.
No. And time on stage is very different. Because if you're doing very, very well, 3 minutes seems like a minute. And if you're doing horribly, 5 minutes seems like an eternity.
Yeah. Holy fuck. I've had both. I've had, 7 go by so slow, but I've also had it go by where I feel like I just got on the stage. I was like, that couldn't have been 7 fucking minutes. And then I go check my phone. I'm like, oh, shit. I can't believe it. But she noticed you were the one who said, like, all the crazy shit. Is that why she put you on the stage?
Yeah.
Is that where you got the idea from?
Yeah. I say a lot of fucked up shit, and does not necessarily mean I stand behind it as a statement. I say it to make people laugh. And I like making people laugh when they don't want to.
Okay.
So
I see. All right. So you're that comic who likes to say the fucked up shit to get people comfortable. I guess. Okay. Yeah, no. I like that because people love to be offended in 2020. And and when you look at controversial topics, it's hard to, bring them on stage and make them laugh and be able to joke about it and, really share your opinion in a way where you can set up jokes. And, I like that, you're trying to bring people together with jokes like that. Because if you can get them to laugh at those kind of jokes, they're good pretty much the entire night. They'll laugh at anything, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's also, it's not like they're able to tell your jokes at the water cooler at work the next day either,
Yeah.
Because there's no HR department in comedy, or there definitely shouldn't fucking be.
Oh shit. I was gonna say, can you imagine if you go to somebody's job and the fucking HR people are telling jokes like that back and forth?
Well, what's funny is I have a friend of mine who her work wanted to put together like a team activity. And my friend suggests, she comes to quite a few of my Zoom shows. She said, let's get a comedian. So they put me in touch with her HR person. And I was very upfront and transparent about the kind of comedy I do. And it ended up getting vetoed by the owner. And I didn't have a problem with that. I understand that, But then they did a Hot Ones challenge. I don't know if you've ever watched that on YouTube.
Oh, the
Hot
show.
Wings.
Oh, shit.
Well, it wasn't the show. It was just their company got all the hot sauces sent out to them, and they did a Zoom meeting that way. But she invited me to that. And before it even started, I was cracking some inappropriate jokes, and I had the HR department chick laughing her ass off.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I'm hoping to hear something back at some point, but I get it. I understand. Companies got to be careful and everything. My comedy's not for everybody. I 100% know that.
Yeah, no, 100%. And what company was this, if you don't mind me asking?
I'd rather not say.
Sure, no problem. The
just
only
in case something comes out of it.
Yeah. The only reason why, I even asked the question is because, it's hard to get, a company, whether it's somebody big or small, to be able to be on board with that, especially when, you don't know the material that's about to come. So that's the only reason why I was curious.
Well, smaller companies, I think, would definitely be a lot easier, but it wasn't a small company necessarily. Because they did the Hot Ones Challenge, and I think there were like 10 participants, and then they were doing it 2 more times with other employees. So, I mean, it's a fairly decent sized company.
Okay. Did you participate in the Hot Ones Challenge?
No.
Nah?
They were just getting me on to originally just watch, and I had fun with some of the comments.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, how was watching like the actual challenge itself?
It was fucking hysterical because some of the people were not ready for the shit they were eating, and then there were 2 guys that were all about it, and I mean they weren't like putting the sauce on the wings; they were like taking a spoonful of it and doing a spoonful.
Wow!
Like,
they
were doing the shit at like noon in the middle of the day. So I mean, I went out there and was like, if you're doing this at noon, expect like 6 of your employees to be done for the rest of the day.
I would imagine
they're gonna be on the toilet.
Yeah, they're gonna be on the toilet, throwing up somewhere, one or the other. They're not gonna make it the rest of the day.
But it was pretty fun.
I can imagine. All right, so there were these 2 guys, right? They had spoonfuls. They didn't even put it on the wings. They just took it straight from the spoon.
Yeah. Now, towards the end, it was getting rough on them.
Well, I can imagine. Holy shit. You get last couple of sauces that are like hundreds of thousands of Scoville units. I think the last one they had, that's a
couple million.
Yeah, a couple million, I think. I think it's 2 million. You get the last one, you get a spoonful of that, you're like, what the fuck? Here's the thing. When you watch something like that, because the thing is, you see Sean Evans through like the whole thing, and it doesn't do it justice how awful that is on your mouth. Because sometimes you'll see him like tense up, maybe like right before he's talking, but that's it. He gets a hold of himself like really, really quickly. And I think people really watch it and think that challenge is cake because of it.
Right. Well, it bothers him too, because I'd watched him interviewed. He says it bothers him too, but he does this so often. It's what he does.
Yeah.
That's his job now.
Yeah.
He's prepared. He knows what's coming.
Yeah, he's used to the feeling. I was going to say.
Opposed to my friend who, I think she had finished her milk, all the milk she had, within the first 3 wings, the first three sauces. So she was hurting.
Oh, so my God.
She completed it. In fact, I want to say all the employees finished all of them. They did all 10.
Wow, they all did it? Oh, shit. I was thinking maybe 1 or 2 people probably dropped out that weren't ready. There might be a couple people that stuck through it. The guys with the spoon stuck through it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But no, they all completed it?
Yeah. Everyone completed it. They did all 10. There were some people hurting. But it was entertaining to watch.
I believe it. I believe it. There's no way you're not hurting after that, to a point. But I do have to ask, would you ever do it?
No.
No?
No, when I was a young man, I used to eat suicide wings, which was one of the hotter wings that we have in our area.
Yeah.
And then it was one of those, I was hanging out with a military buddy. So, I mean, he got his wings, I got mine. We got beer. We're just chilling, watching the game. And, I got my own bucket, and I'm eating my wings, and I just drop the bone, and into the bucket. And then one of the bones I dropped hit like a pool of the sauce, and the sauce shot up straight into my eye. And then I'm blindly running down the hallway, bouncing off the wall, screaming, trying to get to the bathroom sink. So
Well, yeah,
that experience cured me of that shit.
Woo. Oh fuck. Oh, that's great. I can't even imagine the kind of bitch I would turn into if that happened to me.
Oh, I was screaming like a girl.
Oh, I can imagine. You know, you try to get that out. You're trying to feel for like what's like next in the hallway. Just
yeah, it was bad.
You know, you hit the wall a couple times down the way.
Oh, you don't even think about hitting the wall. You're just trying to get to the sink.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not like the wall's gonna stop you, but oh fuck, god damn. So, all right, I have a question. The challenge itself, would you like do it to like see how far you could go? Because the first couple of aren't spicy at all. So, would you try to do it just to see, where your limit is right now? Because I know you're not going like to probably the last couple.
Probably not, man. I mean, I like some spicy stuff, but like the heat that I like is flavorful. I don't want heat just for heat.
That's fair.
One of my go-tos is I use Tabasco Chipotle flavor, and I put that on pizza, burgers, whatever, and fries. I like that. It's got a good flavor, and it's got some heat. But no, I'm past the point of wanting to find my limits.
Yeah,
that's
I got you.
Man's game.
Nah, that's fair. Because this was about a year and a half ago. I actually, stumbled upon this when I was trying to look through some of the old podcasts I did so I could put together a portfolio, actually. And, there was a guy that I had on here. He was a poet. His name is Post Midnight. And he came on the show. And the thing is, the dude can cook really good, too. And he actually had a website that he made, like, devoted to, like, dirty, sexy food. And a lot of the shit was spicy. So he ended up, bringing wings. He brought all the sauces that he uses, which, had names like Raw Dog and shit, which I thought was fucking beautiful.
Raw Dog.
That's the only name I remember, to be honest with you. But, we had like maybe 6 or 7 of them. And I'm pretty good with spice. So, I handled it no problem. I thought it was going to get really, really spicy at the end of it. And you could tell there was more heat with each wing. But it never got to a point where, like, I was struggling with it. And I was surprised because, normally when you think of a challenge like that, you think of, like, the last one being, like, death. You're going to struggle to make it through the show after this.
Right.
But I ended up being perfectly fine. And I talked to him about it after, not that it was a big deal, but he actually came and told me this. Like, I really just try to make my wings for, like, flavor. I don't worry about the heat. I can do the heat. I've, put a lot of heat in wings before, but that's not really what I focus on. And the thing is, before that, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, I didn't know, because I thought when you just made wings, you, like, made them, like, mild, medium, spicy. I didn't know a flavor could control that. So when he told me that, I was like, oh, shit. I never knew you could control the heat, with the flavor. So that was an interesting thing to learn then.
Well, a lot of places that'll do just like a regular buffalo sauce, they'll cut it because it'll already be at a certain heat level. They'll cut it with just melted butter. That's all they really use to cut the heat on it.
Okay. So they'll use like a really spicy like substance, and to cut the heat on it, they'll use it. But do they like using it because, it has a lot of flavor in it, or?
Well, you've seen like orange kind of hot sauce, right, on wings.
Yeah.
That's been cut with butter for the most part, and that cuts down on a lot of the heat they have. But nah, man, I like flavor over heat. I mean, I do like some heat. Like I said, I'll put that Tabasco chipotle on pizza, burgers, eggs, whatever. But now I'm past the point of wanting to see what my mouth can handle.
I guess when you get that like orange orange color though, that's just the butter mixing in with the hot sauce.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I used to work at a restaurant, and that's what we
did. Okay. No, because I've had hoagies, and I'll put like sriracha and mayonnaise on it, and you know, sometimes I'll see sriracha like when they're just putting it on, and it's like fucking, you know, like dark red, and I'm confused. Because when it gets to the hoagie, it's fucking pink. I'm like, what the fuck
that's
happened?
From the mayo.
Yeah, it mixed in with mayo. I realized it after a while, but I was like, wait, what the fuck? Where's the sriracha and the mayo? What's this pink shit in my hoagie?
Right.
Did you just fucking melt cotton candy and put it in my hoagie? Am I being punked? What the fuck is this shit? Fucking Christ, man. No, but I saw the first couple times I saw it, because I don't know if they have Wawa by you, but that's where I normally get my shit. You know, the first time it threw me off a little bit, and it took me a couple of times to, you know, get used to fucking pink sriracha sauce. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we have Wawa here. In fact, I remember when they first got here, it was crazy because the only convenience store we really had that was like a chain was 7-Elevens. But when you first walk into a Wawa, the first thing you notice is this is the cleanest fucking convenience store / gas station I've ever been in my life. And they make a quality sub.
Oh, for sure. You know, it's definitely not the best sub. There's plenty of places with better subs, but you know, it's go-to, and it's, you know, something that, you know, I'll take after like 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
See, to me, the best subs that you're gonna get are from delis.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Because I mean, they have a higher quality meat.
Yeah, that's 100% fair. Honestly, you know, I'm lucky enough, you know, where I'm by New York, and I get to go a lot of the comedy clubs over there. And, you know, I've met the owner. I didn't really meet him. He did watch a couple of shows I did, but the owner of Broadway Comedy Club, Al Martin, he does this, you know, fucking thing he does this little thing where he sits in front of like a camera and does something called Fat Food Review. I don't know if it's like supposed to be like a podcast and he's just doing it in front of the camera because of the pandemic or what's going on, but I've seen him do it a few times, and you know, he'll review a lot of different famous places. And I remember one time he was talking about a deli, and he ended up bringing up Katz's Delicatessen, which is in New York City. And you know, he started talking about like all the meat there, you know, the size of the sandwiches, and you know, you walk past it, you know, you just think it's like a really like, you think it's like a big ass deli, but you think it's just like an ordinary deli. You don't realize how world famous it is. And, you know, he started talking about it, the way, you know, they set you up with like the tickets and everything. And I've listened more about it. I'm like, fuck, I got to try this shit. Cause I'm pretty sure I've passed this place at least a couple times, you know?
How'd you like it?
I haven't even tried it yet. I got to try it after it's over.
Come on, man. You already knew it was world famous. Why wouldn't you just go in and be like, oh, I'm getting some shit from here?
Well, no, because when he brought it up and I was fighting like, yo, shit, I got to try this. You know, the pandemic had already been going on for months.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So, you know, I haven't had the chance to really go back into the city and try it because I've been in New York, but I haven't been to New York City. I went to Long Island, you know, for one friend's show where I stayed the night, and, you know, I got to have a lot of fun, you know, with a lot of New York comics that, you know, I haven't seen in a while. But, you know, I'm still waiting for the chance to go back into the city. I want to see how fucking awful some of these park shows are. That's what I really... Because people complain about that shit all the time.
Comics or non-comics?
No, there's people that, you know, go into Central Park and they do some stand-up shows from there, which I can only imagine, you know, with everything going on in a park right now, you know, the train wreck that would be.
We're at a point where I think people are tired. They're either tired of doing shows online on Zoom or Facebook,
yeah,
or they don't even want to do them.
Yeah.
I've done a handful of Zoom shows where there was a crowd of 20 or 30 people that were not performing. Because otherwise it's just like a regular open mic. You're there performing in front of 3 people that didn't sign up, and the other 15 people are comics. And then, you know, it's great to make comics laugh, but I mean, come on, man, I won the crowd. So I mean, I can see where they've gotten desperate. I did a podcast not too long ago, a couple of days ago, where I impressed one of the guys, and he wants me to come do a show in Ohio.
Nice.
The crowd wouldn't be that big, but you know, from me doing research and looking at it, they've gotten 1,000 views on their live shows every now and then. You know, 200-300 views. One of them was 1,000. It's like, yeah, I'll do it, 100%.
You know, and I think you should definitely at least try to like stream it, even if, you know, you go for, you know, like in front of a live crowd of like, you know, 10, 20 people. You know, I think it's a tool that, you know, we should start using that we never thought of before, because we didn't really have to. But, you know, now that we have to, you know, I think a lot of us have learned a lot of useful shit, you know, that should stick with us, you know, because, you know, we've been able to connect with people, you know, all over the country and the world that we probably wouldn't have otherwise connected with because of the pandemic. You know, I wouldn't have connected with you and a bunch of other comics in Virginia. I wouldn't have connected with a lot of the comics I have from LA, Arizona. I think one dude was from Idaho. I forgot that was a fucking state before this pandemic.
Right.
But
I've made fans in Australia and Canada, and I've made enough in Canada where if everything opens back up, I feel confident I could go out there. And I think it says something when you're going to another country and you can have 3 or 4 people in the crowd already in your corner.
Oh, hell yeah, 100%. You know, because you don't meet people that are, you know, too far from where you're at. You know, I think I met one dude from Canada who went up to New York to do a show with us one time, and, you know, that was it. Other than that, the farthest anybody came from was Boston. So, you know, I mean, that was a pretty cool experience. You know, he helped me meet a couple guys. You know, I ended up, you know, not having the opportunity to do a show over there, but, you know, I'm still really hoping I can one day, because it's not like you're going to meet too many guys, you know, from over there from doing, you know, live shows. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I got to do something with my phone. Someone keeps blowing me up, so I apologize if this went out. I have to mute the group.
I was like, wait, what the happened? Where did he go? Because I was like looking up over here, and then I looked back down. You know, you're just gone.
Let's see here.
There you go.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
It's just in one of those group chats with 8 or 9 people, and everyone's chit-chatting, and it's like, God damn it, I didn't mute it before the show. So, my bad.
Gonna say that'll make you drink some more rum. I saw you pouring that shit.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to get another one. I ain't gonna work. I gotta work tomorrow. I'm like a stay-at-home dad with no kids.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say I finish up my work week tomorrow though. So,
well, I mean, How long were you out of work? There had to have been a time that you were actually out of work for a little bit, wasn't there?
No, I work at Amazon. I wasn't out of work at all.
Oh, okay. Well, of course. Okay, Amazon. Yeah, they're not letting you on. But I mean, there's a good portion of people that, at least for a little while, they were out of work. I mean,
Yeah.
I've always been curious. Would people say that their day drinking was more impressive in their younger years or during the pandemic? You know, because I used to drink a lot, but my day drinking some of these days has been epic.
Hey,
It's
man.
noon somewhere. It's noon somewhere.
Listen, when you got time on your hands, you know, you have time to fucking drink and do whatever. So of course you're putting more down. You got the
Just wanna
time to do it.
relax.
Yeah. You might as well take advantage of the time where you're able to relax. Where do you work, man?
I've been out of work since October.
Since October last year?
Yeah.
Oh shit, so you were already out of work before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, what did you do before you were out of work?
I was an equipment operator for my city.
Okay.
And I had gotten passed up on the supervisor's job. The second time it happened, the guy that gave it to is actually a good friend of mine, but he's younger than me. And I knew he's a good dude and he wasn't going anywhere. So I got another job elsewhere. I've actually been out of work since February. I got a job with a big company, not saying their name, but I was a molten metal worker, which is the hardest, hottest job I've ever had in my life. I am too old for that shit. And I worked third shift. And one day I showed up and no one was there.
Oh shit.
And I found somebody there and they were like, "You didn't get the message. We need you here at 5 a.m. and be prepared to work 17 hours."
Oh,
And I said, "I just woke up and came here. Do you expect me to go home and try to go back to sleep and then get here when my body's prepared to be getting off at that time?" So
crazy.
that is the first time I've ever blown up on a supervisor. Cursed him out. He probably got scared, thought I was going to hit him, and
I can imagine.
stupidly I walked out. So that screwed my opportunity of collecting unemployment. But
Shit.
that's, the pandemic hadn't hit then.
Yeah.
And trying to get a job during this is ridiculous. Is Amazon hiring?
Yeah. Of course they're hiring.
I can pack butt plugs into boxes and put them on trucks to be flown all over the country.
Bro, there's more people that need butt plugs than ever before. They got all the extra time on their hands to use them. So, of course, Amazon is hiring. You know,
I'll have to look into that.
They need somebody to fly extra butt plugs out to all the people that can't go outside.
So I've always wondered, I know that they say that some packages are delivered by drone. Does that mean butt plugs have flown?
Maybe. I honestly have no idea. But I can't even imagine, that going in the air and somebody else finds out about it. Get a butt plug out here to be part of the Mile High Club and shit. Fucking Christ. But yeah, no, they've been hiring. They had to amp up their hiring, throughout the entire thing. So,
Right.
if you ever had to look, I'm sure it's there. I can't say it's an enjoyable place to work at though. So if you really want to put yourself through that, but yeah, it's a steady check. So
It's better not having a savings anymore.
I guess you blew through it.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's fucking beautiful. I was gonna say that sounds like something exactly a comic would do. So, all right, you pretty much left there like a couple weeks before the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. Ugh. That's like great but awful at the same time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nah. I mean, as long as you've been like okay throughout the whole thing, I guess that's the most important part. But at least you were able to like survive like the past like 6-7 months or whatever.
Yeah. wife does a great job with the finances.
I was gonna say he probably is the one who made sure you didn't spend too much of that money on rum and coke with your drinking habit.
No, I only drink once or twice a month.
Okay.
Everyone I drink's a double, and if I'm just bullshitting and we're talking funny stuff or doing a show, I'll go through 4 or 5.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You wait till the other person is, talking, you take a couple sips and, you want to get quality sips, but you don't realize how big they are. And, you get through 4 of them, which is like basically 1 cent by the other person. And that drink is just fucking gone. You're like, where the fuck did this shit go?
I've done maybe, like I said, I'm coming up on 4 years. I've probably done 2 or 3 shows where I've had too much to drink.
Okay.
And one of them was real bad. But I think it was like my birthday show. And
I
think my wife and I showed up a half hour before the show started. And every time my glass was empty, my wife handed me another one.
Oh, well, of course, it's your fucking birthday.
I got housed. It was sick. But,
Yo, I had a show like that recently. This was actually the Long Island one because it was a buddy of mine's birthday for that one too. I think he turned 36, 37, I forget. But, he was just down in shots of Henny the entire night. And, then he went up. And the thing is, for a little bit in New York, because they went and just banned live performances again, but they made it so, all the comics had to sing. So, you just saw this dude grab his friend's guitar, start singing about like a whole bunch of crazy shit that he could think of. Think of like your set, but in song form.
I gotcha.
But yeah, like he's going through like that for like the first 2 minutes, then he starts doing his actual set. And the thing is, you knew he was fucking plastered, so it was just beautiful to watch because of that. Right. Especially because there were like a couple dudes in the audience trying to heckle him, and he's drunk, so he's not going to take that shit.
Right. I don't deal well with hecklers, man. I'm not like clever. I get annoyed. It's like I've had several concussions, so my short-term memory is really bad. So I usually perform the shit out of a joke before I actually have it down where I really want it, which is a little bit longer than most comics.
Yeah.
So people heckle and interrupt, it just pisses me off. I'm not even clever. You shut the fuck up.
Just call them ugly.
I will anally rape your grandma and rip up your $5 birthday check. That's about all. I'm not clever. It just annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, no.
It's like you could have signed up and done this, asshole.
Yeah. Like I put all this effort into this shit and you're just gonna fucking ruin it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I get where you're coming from. I mean, and you're within your right to be like that too. Honestly, the thing is, if I don't have a clever response or they just say something stupid that's not even worth responding to, I just ignore it.
Right.
And if I hear it keep happening, because, I've had audience members like that before, I'll just point out the fact that they're saying all this stupid stuff. I'm telling a joke about how I used to go to fire school and some douchebag is yelling in the back, vagina boob. Like, what the fuck are you doing? This is not the time to be yelling out the 2 things that nobody's ever let you touch.
See, that's clever at least,
Yeah. Honestly, I ended up thinking about it because there was a comic that, came on a friend of mine's show. I think she was on America's Got Talent. I forget what her name is, but, she's from this area. Julia Scotti, that's who it was.
Okay.
She came and did a show over in Cranberry that I did, and it was actually by where I work. So as soon as I got off, I went there, had a meal, had a couple of drinks, and I got to perform. and they just kept heckling Julia Scotti, but she was so hilarious. She just went through her jokes, and we barely even noticed the guys were there.
Right.
And I think everybody
to aspire to.
Huh?
Something to aspire to get to a certain level.
Yeah, 100%. And I think everybody else was just kind of like ignoring it at that point too. And then I get up there. My first couple of jokes were just directed like straight at them because I'm like,
right.
I have to get this off my chest.
Right.
Before they say something stupid and it starts bothering me, because everybody else was great during the show too. I think there was just a couple of ladies sitting in the front that made a couple comments. I think one of the comics made a comment first because they just happened to have big boobs that I guess he noticed. I ended up calling him Teep Cleavage in the middle of my set. But yeah, no, the fucking audience was great that night. It was just those four assholes that were sitting in the back that thought they could get away with it, because they were behind everybody.
Right. See, I don't do crowd work. That's probably something I should probably work on at some point. Because I've noticed whenever I'm doing some of my material that does not go well.
Yeah.
If I call the crowd out, hey, you laughed at this, but you're not laughing at this. For some reason, that always gets a fucking laugh. So maybe I should work on that. I've only done crowd work twice. It went over really well. Right before I stepped on stage one night, another comedian in our area, Megan Little, stopped me and said, hey, that table is a bachelorette party. Now, why the fuck a bachelorette party came to our crappy little comedy club open mic, I couldn't tell you. But I abandoned my set and fucked with them all night, and it was great. It went really well. They asked to get pictures with me after the show.
Yo, there's a comic friend of mine who's in a wheelchair, right? And
okay. Is this a female?
This is a male comic.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was a lady, because he was sitting down, at a table before he went up, and there was this lady that kicked him by accident. See, he has cerebral palsy, so he actually felt everything happen. So, right. He gets on stage, he starts talking about how this lady was just sitting there kicking him the whole time and shit, fucking with her for maybe the first 5 out of his 7-minute set. And it was just fucking beautiful to watch because she wasn't ready for it at all.
Right.
She thought it was funny, but she had this hand over mouth surprise look the whole time, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
And he just kept going and going and going, and it was fucking great.
Let's see, I think I asked the young lady, I was like, who's getting married? She was like, one of them raised their hand. I was like, how long have you been together? She was like 9 years. I was like, 9 years? And you're just now getting married? That means you're lousy at sucking dick. And all her girls fucking went off laughing. And I was like, I don't know why all you bitches are laughing, because fucking 2 of you hate the guy, and one of you probably already slept with him.
Shit. I was like,
wait, was fun.
I was thinking in my head, if you waited 9 years, he's cheating on you. Probably with somebody that you're sitting with right now.
The other time there was a young comic, 18 years old. Okay. And he got all his frat buddies to show up.
Oh shit.
So there was a table of 22 dudes, 18 to 22. And I was like, I have never seen this many people that have jerked off the Wizards of Waverly Place in one spot in my entire life. And just fucking, but other than that, man, like I said, it's a difficult process for me to retain the shit I'm working on. I go up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just go up with a premise and I'll riff on it. So we'll thank the rum for that.
All right. I was gonna say, a little bit will make you think of some creative shit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. I was gonna say,
So-
can you actually tell me about some of the times where you drank too much? Because I'm curious about this.
No, it's the material's fine. It's just a little slow, little slur. Other than that, though, I mean, the material still went over well, but slipping over words, that's something. That and the amount of times I come off stage and I'm like, I forgot a joke or I forgot a punch, I forgot a tag, and it just pisses me off so bad.
Oh, bro, I've done that so many times. You know, if you just think of all this different shit, and then you end up being bound to forget, you know, one thing or another. Yeah. You know, you have like 3 parts to a joke. You end up adding like 2 or 3 things to each part. You know, you're bound to forget something at some point.
Yeah.
You know, because you got all these little parts that you're trying to get in. And, you know, you can't just sit there, you know, trying to think about, you know, what was this one part to this one line of my joke for like 2 minutes of a 5-minute set. You can't do that. You know, you just end up looking stupid and it just messes everything up. And you end up just skipping over it. You know, I've had this happen to me too. So, I mean, you're not alone with that for sure.
Well, Lee, the comedy club I perform the most at's only a couple traffic lights away. That's why I would always go there. You know what I mean? It's close and safe. But they never put a cap on how many people can sign up for their open mic. And there'd be some nights 42 fucking comics would show up. So that means everyone's getting like 2.5, 3 minutes.
Oh,
so
damn.
Now the 5-minute thing I've worked on, I got to figure out what to trim down and shit. But I mean, every now and then you get lucky and like only 15 people would show up. And they're like, all right, everyone's getting 7 minutes. And you're like, shit, I only got 5 minutes for the material. So, I mean, if they put a cap on it and just said, hey, we're going to do 25 comics, everyone gets 5 minutes, that'd be great. But they won't do that because they'll turn away business.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And, you know, if you have like 42 comics on there, somebody's bound to bring people.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, you'll notice that they get buried towards the, you know, and people complain about that. They're like, yo, I've been here for an hour. I made sure my name was first. Why'd you put me in the middle of the lineup? Well, it's because you brought 8 people, dumbass. We're going to bury you. You guys are going to wait. We're going to, you know, your people are going to drink drinks.
Yeah.
This is not a big comedy area where I'm from, man, at all.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. Are you like from like a small town in Virginia or?
Not really. I'm in Newport News.
Okay.
Not far from Michael Vick and Allen Iverson fame.
Oh shit. Nice, man.
But the only comedy clubs are Cosby's Comedy Club where I perform and the Funny Bone in Virginia Beach. And then all the other shows are run by other comics at bars and restaurants. And a lot of times you'll go in and people won't know a comedy show is going to happen that night. Those are always fun.
Oh, I can imagine. You know, they don't know what the fuck they're walking into.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
so
like
I need to branch out and travel more, honestly.
It was just like that one girl who decided to kick Mike, you know, thinking, you know, he's not
right.
Shit. You know what was crazy? You know, we ended up talking to her after because it was so funny that, like, I was just like, you were such a good sport, and I just appreciate that. And she was just like, I wasn't ready for that. And she ended up telling me that she didn't even feel, you know, herself kicking Mike.
Right.
I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any fucking sense. How does the person in the wheelchair feel it, but not you?
Right. Maybe she should go get her veins looked at.
Yeah, this went the opposite of how this was supposed to go.
Right.
Like, that's the only thing I wish Mike talked about, but I don't think she ever ended up saying that while he was on the stage, which, you know, it is what it is.
How, other than New York, how far have you, like, how long have you been doing comedy?
About 2.5 years.
How far would you say you've traveled other than New York?
I've traveled up to, you know, northern Connecticut, like half hour outside of Rhode Island. The farthest I ever went was Mohegan Sun. So that's about, with you know, no traffic, about a 4-hour drive. So that's about as far as I've gone. Not because, you know, I'm not open to going farther. You know, I've just never had a place farther than that ask me to do a show. You know, I'm probably going to end up traveling, you know, after the pandemic, after everything's open, because I've been able to, you know, connect with different people now. So because of that, there's places that I want to go, you know. I would be open to going to Idaho, which, again, I forgot. You know, I'm definitely open to come to Virginia, Maryland, D.C., because, you know, I connected with a bunch of comics from all three. You know, I don't know how the fuck I would ever get to L.A., but, you know, if I could ever manage it, you know, that's one I would love to do. You know, I wanted to go down to Florida before the pandemic anyway, and I was looking for stuff down there because the thing is, you know, I got a lot of family members who live down there. You know, my dad and my mom moved down there because, you know, they're fucking old and that's what old people do.
Right.
And, you know, eventually I got to go down there and visit. So I was looking at stuff for there anyway. I was going to say Arizona's another one. I met one dude from New Hampshire, which is another place I forgot that existed. And that's sad because that's close by.
Right.
Comparatively to Idaho, anyway. At least I think it is. But, yeah, you know, you have that. And then there was one girl from fucking Nebraska. Yeah, right? That's what I'm...
to go to Nebraska.
Yeah, what the fuck is even Nebraska?
The Cornhuskers.
Fucking Christ. Like, when you think of Cornhuskers, you think of Virginia. You don't even remember fucking Nebraska.
No. Virginia's known for tobacco and peanuts.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck Virginia's known for. I've never even been in Virginia.
It's
shit. Right. I was going to say, I did have a friend actually move down to Virginia, but apparently she's 6 hours away. I'm like, fuck, I'm never seeing you again.
You know what area?
Honestly, I haven't talked to her in a while, so I don't know. I'm sure if I asked, she'd probably say. But, you know, she was talking about, like, you know, if you ever come down to do comedy, like, we'll watch it. And now I'm starting to think, like, maybe this bitch is going to have to meet me halfway.
Right.
Because you guys are
a whole lot in this area, honestly.
Because you guys are only about, like, I think 3.5 hours away.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
I got friends in Philly that, you know, they keep telling me I need to come up and do, like, a little tour heading up to New York.
Yeah. Fuck it. I think that's a good idea, honestly. You know, just start with a couple shows in Philly. You know, I don't know if you want to take your car down to New York, and to be honest, I don't recommend that because fucking tolls are $20 every half. Fucking parking is $20 every half hour. They charge stupid money for that. So I was gonna say maybe you could fucking just take the train up there, say some stupid shit to people on the train. You know, perform a few clubs over in New York. And I think it would end up being a lot of fun for you, man.
At some point, man. If I can do it without having to wear a mask, I'm all for it.
Oh, 100%. I can't imagine how fucking awful it is in that beard of yours.
I'm so tired of wearing a fucking mask, dude. I mean,
Bro.
I did it and I do it. I'm tired of it.
Bro, because the thing is, I can just see that, like, pushing your beard up, too.
Oh, yeah. I look like a fucked up garden gnome.
Yeah, that thing is fucking crazy. I was gonna say, you're gonna look like Gandalf's brother. That fucking thing. Bro, the thing is, when the pandemic was going on, I actually had to shave. I've never had to shave of, like, my own choice. I always did it because of somewhere where I was working, you know. But I actually chose to shave this time. You know, part of it was because, you know, the beard fucking goes everywhere when you wear it. You know, I know you know that. And, you know, the thing is, you know, you'll get part of it, like, sticking out to the side, fucking walking around like a big-ass hobbit. Nobody wants to look like that.
Right.
Yeah. I don't feel like Bilbo Swaggins when I wear a fucking mask.
Bilbo Swaggins. I will say this though. I've shaved before, and all my friends are like, "You don't even look like the same person." I'm like, yeah, I know. Now I should rob a bank. Just go rob a bank, fucking shave the beard, get away with it.
Yeah, that might actually work for you. I was gonna say, if you spend too much more money and you end up not finding anything, that might actually be a good idea.
Well, then we got to make sure this doesn't exist.
What, the beard? Oh, hell yeah.
This conversation. This conversation never happened.
I don't know if you're trying to plan to rob a bank, but I was gonna say, if you ever rob a bank, just let me know.
I think everyone's thought about it once or twice.
Yeah, like how the fuck that would go, right?
I already got a little plan set up.
Oh, you got this plan. All right, I would ask, but that'd be pretty stupid to reveal that on Facebook Live.
Yep,
just in case. No, but I do have one more question to ask you because we are running out of time. Is there anything that you haven't done with comedy that you would like to do with it, or?
Other than just get out there, man. I have a lot of fun after the shows, bullshitting and talking to comics.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's always a fun time and networking and shit. I just want to get back to doing live comedy in front of a crowd.
Okay.
As far as Zoom shows, the advice I'd give fucking anyone that does it who isn't that experienced doing it is try to make sure you are performing in front of your camera the same way you would on stage.
Hell yeah.
Mannerisms, personality, try to keep everything the same. That way you don't get out of practice. We're all trying new material anyways.
Yeah, 100%. I think you can be creative too with the Zoom shows on top of it, which, I think is fucking great. And, it's a good way to even make yourself better. So I agree with you 100% on everything you said, brother. But
it allows you to branch out and do different shit. I mean, I'm not gonna. I like my dark fucked up humor. But I mean, other people, yeah. Yeah,
definitely. It's giving you a chance to be able to write some new shit too.
Yeah.
I think if you're anybody, I think if at any point, you've been doing comedy, throughout the pandemic, you've been writing new shit for sure.
Right. And hopefully not just pandemic jokes. Because, I mean, everyone's going to have COVID jokes and shit.
Yeah. I mean, and there's so many different ways you can take it that people don't think about, You can make jokes about outdoor shows. You can make jokes about Zoom. The thing is, it doesn't have to just be jokes about COVID.
Right.
There's a lot of things that this shit changed for everybody. So, go in a direction that, somebody else may not think of. It's a great way to, try something new, and not just that, but make your set original.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do want to say, thank you for coming on the show. Really appreciate you being here. And, really hope I get to meet you one day when this pandemic is over. Hopefully we get to perform at a show together, wherever the fuck. I actually didn't know there was a Funny Bone in Virginia. So that would be
there's 2.
Okay. There's 2 in Virginia?
Yep, there's one. They're both about an hour away in separate directions.
Okay. That ain't too bad. Yeah, but no, that's a place that I've always wanted to perform at, the Funny Bone somewhere. I didn't know there was one that close. So, that's definitely on the bucket list, but, definitely would love to meet you and perform with you, one day when this is over, regardless if it's there or not. So once again, thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Definitely, man. I appreciate you having me on, John.
All right. Definitely, brother. To everybody, this has been The Round Table here on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. John Breckles, Doc Allen. We'll be out same time, same channel next week. Deuces.
You stand to the beat, let 'em